we feeling tonight? I am so honored to be here with you today. Thank you, Randy, and to the AFT leadership team for inviting me here, for always being such peerless supporters and enthusiastic supporters of our local struggles for campaigns for justice on the ground. And most of all, I want to thank all of you today who are in this room, the AFT membership, my former union, for being the backbone of a political movement that is reclaiming the promise of public education all over this country. I come to you from Philadelphia, ranked as the poorest large city in this country, and also from Pennsylvania, a state where the funding gap between the poorest and wealthiest school districts is the worst in the nation. And let me be clear that these two factors, poverty and inequality, are the crippling injustices that lie at the heart of our struggle in this room today. And in a nation that is struggling to find its moral footing in these times, I want to talk about what it means to engage politically at the point where politics begins, at home. First, I want us to appreciate this extraordinary moment that we're in. The political energy that is sweeping through this country right now isn't coming from Washington, D.C., and isn't coming from our state assemblies and legislatures. It's moving at the local level. The backbone of a new progressive movement lies in local organizing, which means it lies within the grasp of each and every one of us in this room. It's a movement that I've been part of. It's a movement that I've been a beneficiary of, winning a citywide election thanks to the hard work and partnership of parents and teachers who moved a city that was ready for change. And of course, I cannot even begin to say that I wouldn't be here today without the incredible and tremendous support of the Philadelphia Federation of Teachers, a submissive bunch, clearly, but an amazing group of members, retirees, and supporters. Their great president, Jerry Jordan, and who are in this room today very loudly. I'm proud to have fought alongside tremendous teacher organizers in Philadelphia who are showing what it means when we take over our streets and organize at the polls. We have faced 16 years of a state takeover that has slashed funding, closed schools, and resulted and forced massive layoffs. So this wasn't easy. This year alone, thousands of Philadelphia school children will go to summer school, not because their grades weren't good enough, and not because they needed extra help, but because they didn't have a teacher in the classroom for most of the year. We've got dilettante millionaires doing everything possible to destroy public education in a city they will never live in, hurting children that they will never know. Those were the circumstances that faced my election last year, a critical election for the future of education in Philadelphia, where a trio of hedge fund billionaires were attempting a hostile takeover of our city and our schools. And our teachers and staff teamed up with the communities that they loved in fighting back. They dedicated weekends and after hours to canvass their communities. They opened schools up early to connect with students and their families, and volunteered by the thousands at the polls. We powered this election with every ounce of energy that we had, and in the process, we energized our citizens with our passion and helped every voter remember that this was a vote for the future of our children and our city. And what did Philadelphia voters choose? They rejected the message of fear and failure. They rejected the message of struggling public institutions where the only solution is to privatize or shut them down. Instead, they chose renewed hope and investment in our public schools and in the educators and staff who love them, believe them, and fought alongside of them. This coalition also brought in a pro-public education mayor and is now seeing meaningful change. This year, we won a historic investment in expanded pre-K and community schools. We're hiring hundreds of new staff, including a full-time nurse for every school. And as resources begin to come back to our neighborhoods and our schools, we've got more hope than ever for not only just seeing real change, but being in the leading of the charge for it. And where does that hope come from? It comes from all of you. You who care and uplift our children every day. You who teach them to read and love poetry, who help them break out in song and dance, who put Band-Aids on hurt knees and hurt hearts, who comfort them through grief and loneliness and help them face some of their most terrifying tragedies. In times of grave inhumanity, your love of our children is in itself a deeply political act. So let's talk about making that love even more political and urgent and fierce. Now is the time to take to our streets and to the polls. Now is the time to organize, no longer because we have nothing to lose, but we have everything to win. Thank you.